I am Rashmi PK, MTech Food Technology, first year student of Department of Dairy Science and Food Technology, Institute of Agriculture Science, Banaras Hindu University. Today I am going to discuss about the topic clinical testing of nutraceuticals and healthy foods. Let's go through the slides. First of all, let's start with the clinical for nutraceuticals. It evaluates the safety, efficacy and bioavailability of nutraceuticals, the latter of which measures the extent and the rate at which the nutraceutical is absorbed into the body. It helps sponsors to meet these requirements by providing proof of a nutraceutical's performance. It aims to establish the product's efficacy on which the general population. The study needs healthy volunteers of both sexes covering a broad range of ages. The focus of a trial can include disease modification, disease recovery and other endpoints based on various biomarkers. A clinical trial is a research study in which one or more human subjects are prospectively assigned to one or more interventions, which may include placebo or other control, to evaluate the effects of those interventions on health-related biomedical or behavioral outcomes. Here, the medicine is tested in larger groups of people who are ill and compared against an existing treatment or a placebo to see if it's better in practice and if it has important side effects. Trials often last a year or more and involve several thousand patients. While we discuss about the clinical trials, the first question comes in our mind is why we go for clinical trial. The manufacturer of a nutraceutical must ensure that a product is safe and free of contaminants before it can be offered to the general public. Manufacturers may also want to get ahead of competition by substantiating marketed claims with scientific evidence. Now, let's discuss about the models of clinical trials. The selection of right trial is important since it can affect the outcome of the trial or introduce errors. The selection should be based on the type of trial and other variables. For any clinical trial, there are usually two groups of people who are experimented on. The first group is members of one group are given a placebo and the second group is the members of another group are given the treatment that is being studied. It is done to compare the effectiveness of the treatment to placebo. When we go through the clinical trials, the topic or the idea then we should be thorough with is preclinical trials. Preclinical studies are conducted to study the toxicological and pharmacological effect not only prior to initiation of human studies but throughout clinical development. Both in vitro and in vivo studies can contribute to this characterization. The research using animals to find out if a drug, procedure or treatment is likely to be useful. Preclinical studies take place before any testing in humans is done. There are 5 steps involved in doing a preclinical trial. They are: the first one is identify a drug target, second is develop a bioassay, third is screen the drug in the assay, fourth is establish effective and toxic doses, and the final fifth one is file for approval as an investigational new drug. Now let's discuss about the different phases of a clinical trial. There are 4 phases or steps involved in a clinical trial. They are phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 and phase 4. Phase 1 evaluates safety. It determines safe dosage and identifies side effects. Phase 2 tests effectiveness and further evaluates safety. Monitors side effects, compares to other treatments and collect information. Phase 4 provides additional information after approval including risk, benefits and use. Here we will go for FDA approval after phase 3, that is before phase 4. Let's go through the clinical trial process in detail. There are 4 phases involved in the clinical trial as we discussed before. For the first phase, we need 1 month period and 10 to 20 participants. And the purpose of the clinical trial phase 1 is to check whether it is safe and how does the body process it and what are the side effects of the clinical trial phase 1. And in the phase 2, we need 3 to 12 months and 50 to 75 participants, and the purpose of the trial is to check whether it is safe and how well it will work and how much should be taken, that is how much the placebo or the treatment we have to take. In the third phase we need 6 to 12 months and there are 100 to 300 participants involved in the clinical trial, and it is done to check whether the phase is safe and how well it will work on our body and does the benefit outweigh the risk. If these 3 phases passes, that is these 3 phases are success, and then we will go for FDA approval, and for the FDA approval we submit the application. Application will get reviewed. It may take 6 to 12 months. After the application approval, we can apply this treatment on the public, that is the treatment will be available for the public. For the fourth phase, we need 3 to 12 months. There are 100 to 300 participants, and the purpose of the phase 4 is to check does it still appear to be safe and are there rare side effects and cost effectiveness and comparison to other similar drugs. Alright, let's discuss about the basic regulatory rules worldwide. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration FDA regulates nutraceuticals under a different set of regulations as compared to those that cover conventional food and drug products. According to the Dietary Supplement Health and Education Act from 1994, DSHEA, manufacturers and distributors of dietary supplements and dietary ingredients are prohibited from marketing products that are adulterated or misbranded. That means that these firms are responsible for evaluating the safety and labeling of their product before marketing to ensure that they meet all the requirements of the Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act as amended by DSHEA and FDA regulations. FDA has the authority to take action against any adulterated or misbranded dietary supplement product after it reaches the market. In the European Union, the food legislation is largely under the umbrella of European Food and Safety Authority. This legislation focuses on food supplements which are defined as concentrated sources of nutrients like protein, minerals and vitamins, as well as the substances that offer a beneficial nutritional effect. The main EU legislation related to food supplements is Directive 2002/46 EC. Regulations for nutraceuticals of the Government of India include the Food Safety and Standard Act, which was passed in 2006. There are no regulations dealing specially with the nutraceuticals or functional foods in Canada. All are regulated as a subset of drug under the provision of Food and Drug Act regulations. With that, Health Canada regulates natural health products so that the natural health product must have a license before they can be sold in Canada. Now let's discuss about the single blind and double blind placebo. In single blind placebo, the participants in the clinical trial don't know if they are receiving the placebo or treatment. It is done to reduce the chance of errors since some participants might produce spurious results if they know that they are taking the placebo or medication. In this model, the experimenter monitoring the participants know which one got the treatment under the examination. In double-blind placebo study, both the participants and experimenter don't know which group got the placebo and which got the experiment treatment. Risk of conscious and unconscious observer bias is reduced, making the study accurate. This is the superior model of clinical research since it eliminates outcomes that are produced due to the placebo effect as well as observer bias by the experiment. Let's go through the case study. Here, as the case study, I selected single-blind, placebo-controlled randomized clinical study of chitosan for body weight reduction. Here, they concluded that capsule containing 500 mg chitosan from fungal origin was able to reduce the mean body weight up to 3 kg during 90 days study period. Together with this, there was also improvement in body composition, anthropometric parameters, and glycated hemoglobin. Additionally, there was also improvement in quality of life score. It was also found to be safe and well tolerated by all study participants. Here I have shown the references.